Good day everyone. Now we have in Module 3, which is the key components of computer system and operating system. I will be discussing the computer system, their basic units, and their components. In the modern era, computer plays an important role in our daily lives, from education to business and communication to entertainment. A computer is a combination of different parts that works together to process information and provide us meaningful output. At the end of this lesson, the students will be able to explain the key components of computer system, classify the components of computer system, distinguish the difference between hardware, software, and humanware, define operating system, identify the basic concept of operating system, and discuss and enumerate the different types of operating system. First is, what is computer system? Computer system, it is the collection of entities. Nandito yung mga significant components ng computer system, which is the hardware, software, and humanware. It is the programmable electronic device na nag-accept ng data, nagre-receive ng data, and nagpa-process ng data. That is the definition of computer system. A computer performs 5 major operations or functions regardless dun sa size and make. So, number 1, it performs na ina-accept niya lahat ng data and instruction as input. And dito din is ini-stores yung mga data and instruction. It also process all the data as per the instruction. It also controls all the operation inside the computer, and also it give us the result in the form of output. Yun yung mga major function ng computer. 5 major function. It accept data, it stores data, it process data, it controls, and it give us the result in the form of output. Now, let's move on naman sa computer basic units, which is first, andito yung input unit, kung saan yung computer input units means ito yung mga device of the output and part ng computer na ginagamit natin para makapag-transport ng data. Yung mga input units is nagko-consist siya ng mga various input devices na kino-connect natin sa computer para makapag-accept ng data and makapag-receive sa mga input devices. For example, is yung mga keyboard, mouse, mga camera, para makapag-accept tayo ng mga data and makapag-receive. Next, let's move on sa central processing unit, which is it also called the brain of the computer system. Ang purpose naman ng CPU or the central processing unit is ito yung in-execute niya yung computer program. It provides niya yung mga processing power and decision-making power. So, yung central processing unit it consists of 3 parts, which is the control unit, the arithmetic logic unit, and the memory unit. When we say control unit, ito yung nagko-control and nagmamanage sa lahat ng components operation, making sure na lahat is doing alright. Syempre, sa isang system, we need a controller. May controller tayo, making sure na lahat is doing alright. And when we say arithmetic logic unit, ito naman yung provides the arithmetic operations and logical operations. Kapag sinabi kasi nating arithmetic logic operations, ito yung mga operations or yung mga mathematical operations such as yung multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, and multiplication. And pag sinabi naman nating logical operations, ito yung and, if, not, or not equal to. Usually, ang mga nakakaalam nito is yung mga programmer. And when we say yung memory unit naman, parang ito yung dito temporary na i-stored yung mga data. Tinatawag din siyang main memory. Now, let's move on sa output unit, which deals with transmitting the data from the computer among the device and the clients. So, dito, it consists all the output devices. Pine-present niya na yung na-process na data. Pino-provides niya na yung result. Using the output devices such as printers, microphone, headphones, projector, and monitor. Yun yung mga output devices na ginagamit natin para maipresent yung mga output and maiprovide yung mga processed data. So, let's move on sa components ng computer system. Number 1, andito ang computer hardware, which is the internal and peripheral devices. Everything that we can touch na parts ng computer is the computer hardware. Ito yung mga nahahawakan natin. Ito yung physical parts niya. Lahat ng mga input devices, ng mga output devices, mga central processing unit, and the storage devices, lahat yan is computer hardware. Kasi nga ito yung mga physical parts ng computer, and also the computer itself, it is the computer hardware. Now naman yung pangalawa, which is the computer software. When we say computer software, it also known as the program or application. Ito yung nagbibigay ng intelligence doon sa computer. Ang computer software is na-classified into two classes, which is the system software and the application software. When we say system software, ito yung special type ng software kung saan internally used by the computer. Ito yung internally used by the computer para makapag-manage and operate siya. And when we say application software naman, ito yung directly used by the system user kung saan para makapag-perform siya ng different tasks ng computer. Ang example ng mga to is yung mga MS Word, yung mga Excels, and PowerPoint presentation. Ilan lang yun sa mga application software natin. Number 3, we have the humanware. Kapag humanware, ito yung person na nag-ooperate doon sa computer system. Ito yung nagko-command doon sa computer system kung ano yung mga kailangan i-execute na mga instruction. Kung ano yung mga i-receive or i-accept na mga data. Siya yung mag-execute. Now, let's move on naman sa computer hardware components. When we say computer hardware components, it consists all the machinery and equipment doon sa computer system. In general, nakakategorize yung mga computer hardware based doon sa 5 major operation na pine-perform ng computer system, which is yung mga input devices, mga output devices, mga processing central unit, and the mga storage devices. Yun ang mga computer hardware components natin.
So let us now tackle about the classification of input devices. But first, let us tackle what is input devices. So input devices are used to send data to the system that allows the users to interact with and provide information to this system. So let us now begin. So input devices for text and images has different example. So first, let us tackle keyboard. So keyboard is the primary input devices that is used to enter data into a computer or any electronic device for pressing keys. It uses USB or any Bluetooth devices for wireless communication to connect to a computer. Let us now move on to the scanner. We have two types of scanner, which is the flatbed and the handheld scanner. Now, the only difference with that is that yung handheld ay nahawakan at yung flatbed ay nakarga, parang nakalian, pinput lang yung document doon. So let us now discuss what is a scanner. So it is used to capture a source, document, and convert it into a electronic form. Now, we have this barcode encoder. So, we often see barcode encoder sa mga markets kapag bibili tayo ng mga foods and any products, and may ginawa rin yung barcode doon na ni-scan. So, barcode encoder is also called barcode scanner and point of sale or PSO scanner. So, barcode scanner is an input device that is capable of reading barcodes. Next is the optical mark reader. Optical mark reader, it is an electronically extracting intended data from the marked fields such as check boxes and fill-in fields. on printed forms. Now, optical mark reader technology scans up printed forms and records where marks are made on the forms. Next is the graphic tablets. Now, we can see this nowadays lalo sa mga youth yung graphic tablets kasi marami ng artists nag-engage sa technology. So, graphic tablets are now usually seen. So, graphic tablets, it is used by the artists which allow them to draw a picture onto a computer screen without having the use of mouse, of keyboard, and any other material, artistic material that is needed. So, in case, imbes na gumamit sila ng mga paintbrush, gumagamit na lang sila ng touch-sensitive pad and drawing device na ginagamitan ng pen and stylus for more convenient and easier way to paint or draw something. Next is the magnetic ink character reader. So it is a device used for machine recognition of numerical data printed with magnetic charge ink, and it is often used in the bank checks and also in the receipts. And last, in the input devices for text and images is we have this digital camera. Ang digital camera, napaka-often natin nakikita yan kapag may mga event or mga shootings, ganyan. So, digital camera is a device that usually, and so, ang digital camera, kalimitan natin siya nakikita sa mga photo shoots or any event. So, ang digital camera ay isang device na nagtitake ng mga photographs and ini-store yung image and pinupunta siya sa isang memory card. So, dumako naman tayo dito sa pangalawa at yung mga input devices for audio. So, number one is yung microphone. Yung microphone, it is an input devices that allows users to input audio into their computers. And there are mga examples dito such as audio for video, recording musical instrument, computer gaming, video record recognition, online chatting, and also yung voice over internet protocol. Next is yung MIDI keyboard or yung musical, instrumental, digital interface keyboard. It is a controller keyboard, like a typically piano na nakikita natin, na electronically musical keyboard. It is often with other buttons, wheels, and sliders. MIDI ay ginagamit for signaling and sending signals or commands over a USB or MIDI 5-pin cable to other musical devices or computers. Next, yung input devices for videos. Meron tayong mga makikita dito na talagang familiar sa atin, lalo sa mga grocery store na nakikita natin. That is highly technological para makita natin na mabisa ito. And number one dito is yung webcam. And next is yung CCTV na talagang nakakatulong sa atin, and also yung digital video camera. Ang digital video camera, it is a video input that are motion image captured in the computer by special devices. So next naman tayo is yung pointing devices. Now, yung pointing devices is kalimitan makikita natin sa mga gamer or mga ginagamit ng mga techie na tao. So, i-discuss muna natin kung ano ang pointing devices. Pointing devices is an input device that allows the users to control a pointer on a screen. A pointer is a symbol or a small symbol on the screen where location and shape change as the user moves on the pointing devices. So, ano nga ba yung mga examples natin dito? Meron tayo sa touchscreen yung mga joystick, mouse, trackball, and even touchpad. Now, let's tackle about the output devices. So, ano nga ba muna yung output devices? Output devices are used to present or display a data or information in the system that allows user to see the presented data. So, in the context, output devices, these are the hardware that is capable of delivering or showing information to one or more users. And output devices display, print, and presents the result of the computer works. After processing the inputted data, the computer will give its output. This output can be in two different formats. And ano nga bang dalawang formats na tinutukoy ko? Ito yung soft copy na nakikita natin visually or sa technology lamang. And yung hard copy that is tangible, ibig sabihin na hawakan natin such as mga printed materials. So, dumako naman tayo dito sa mga output devices, different types of output devices rather. So, meron tayong mga ditong nilist na mga output devices natin. So, andito yung pinaka-common natin, which is yung headset na ginagamit natin kapag makikinig tayo ng music, and also earphones. Andito rin yung woofer and speaker na nakaka-help sa atin pag makikinig tayo ng music. And we have these different monitors such as LCD monitor and LED monitors. Meron din tayong dito LCD projectors. And ito yung mga hindi nakaraniwang nakikita ng mga tao is yung dot matrix printer, laser printer, inkjet printer, and the last is the thermal printer. So, doon nagtatapos yung classifications na output devices and input devices. So, in summary, output devices and input devices come hand in hand. So, input devices ay nagsasend siya ng mga data or mga information sa system, and ang output devices naman is siya yung mag-represent o siya yung nag-receive ng mga inputted data or information na nag-allow sa users para mag-interact or i-process yung data na yun. Thank you!
Let's tackle the storage devices. Storage devices is a hardware used to store, transfer, and retrieve data files and objects. They can store information either temporarily and permanently and may be internal or external to the computer. And there are types of computer storage, which is the primary storage. Primary storage, that main memory in a computer, and storing data, that programs that can be accessed directly by the processor. And two types of primary storage is the RAM or random access memory, and the ROM is read-only memory. So the differences between RAM and ROM is the RAM is the temporary and has a fast storage of data while the computer is running, and it loses the data when the computer is off. And the ROM naman po is a permanent storage, which is the critical data that system boot instructions and certainly retains data even when the computer is off. Secondary storage naman po is alternative storage for saving work documents. This programs the data for future use. It can be removable, internal, and external. And there are types of secondary storage is first one, magnetic medium, which is the non-volatile storage using magnetic patterns to store information. And the second, optical medium, which is the non-volatile storage that uses lasers to read, write, data. And the flash memory naman po is solid states that non-volatile rewritable memory that functions like both RAM and the hard disk, that data is in memory cells retaining information even the computer is off. And the capacity. Capacity is the number of bytes or characters the storage medium can hold. These are the terms and abbreviation of the characters in storage medium. The first one is kilobyte, which is the K or KB, and the megabyte for M and or MB, and gigabyte for G or GB, and terabyte for TB, and the petabyte for PB, and exabyte for EB, and zegobyte in ZB, and yottabyte for YB. And next one is system unit. System unit is a system in the main case that houses a computer's essential hardware components. And there are parts of system unit, which is the first one, motherboard or the main board. The main board is a primary circuit board containing integrated circuit for the microprocessors, memory, and etc. This supports internal connectors, which is the hard disk or optical drivers. And the external connectors naman is mouse, keyboard, and speaker. And next one, hard disk drive or HDD. This is the main storage devices for storing programs and data when the computer is up, and data stored magnetically with capacity typical measured in MB, GB, or TB, megabyte, gigabyte, and terabyte. Optical drive, CD or DVD naman po. It's a drive that reads and writes data on removable optical discs like CDs and DVDs. And next, memory or RAM. This is the processor working area where operations occurs during computer use. It is the access memory and consists of memory chips that fit into slots of motherboard. And the next one, microprocessor or the central processing unit or CPU. This is the main brain of the computer, the computer of a chip and a device which actually executes the instructions. So there are components of the CPU. Letter A is a control unit, which manages and coordinates all computer system and activities. And letter B naman is arithmetic logic unit or ALU, which carries out arithmetic and logical operations. And registers. It's a temporarily stored frequently and access instruction and data for quick retrieval. And number 6 of a computer system unit is computer power supply, which is it provides electric power to all components with the computer. And number 7, heat sink or fan. This is a cooling system placed for the CPU to prevent overheating and keep it cooling. Number 8, network card. It installed in the PCI slots that the network card enables broadband connections. Examples for this is cable or DSL. So number 9 is sound card. Sound card is an expansion card that allows the input and output for audio signals to the computer. It's managed by the software programs. Number 10, graphics card. It's an expansion card that processes and outputs images to display, enhancing the visual performance of the computer. Number 11, chipset. It's a collection of chips that provides the switching circuitry necessary to move data throughout the computer. Cooling pan. Cooling pan is used for cooling purposes to prevent the computer from overheating. Number 13, CMOS battery. CMOS batteries provide power to the computer to turn off if it's ensuring the storage of system settings. And types of CMOS battery is external battery or obsolete and onboard battery in the most common, and built-in battery. Number 14, IDE or Integrated Drive Electronics Controller. This is responsible for controlling the hard drive and CD-ROM. Number 15 is SATA. It's Serial's Advanced Technology Attachment Controller, it's upgrade to the IDE controller. It is responsible for controlling the hard drive and CD-ROM, offering faster data transfer speeds.
Computer software. Ang computer software ay binubuo ng programs at procedures na nagtuturo sa computer kung paano gawin ang task. At typically, computer software is categorized into two, which is the system software at application software. System software. Ito ang software na namamahala sa mga hardware ng computer at tumutulong sa users at application na gumana ng maayos. Ito ang types ng system software. Una, meron tayong operating system. Ang operating system ang nagmamanage ng application at resources ng computer tulad ng memory, files at devices. Example nito ang Windows, Linux, at Androids. Ito naman ang mga iba't ibang functions ng operating system.
Memory management. Ito ang nag-allocate ng memory sa bawat program na tumatakbo. Kapag maraming programs na naka-open, ang operating system ang nag-aayos ng memory para hindi magkaroon ng conflict at bumagal ang pagtakbo ng computer.
Ng iba't ibang programs ng computer ang CPU, memory, at iba pang resources nito. Halimbawa, kapag may dalawang application na nakabukas o tumatakbo, sinisigurado ng operating system na parehong gumagana ng maayos ang mga ito. Backing store management. Tinutulungan ng operating system ang computer sa pag-store at pag-retrieve ng mga files sa hard drive. Halimbawa, kapag nagse-save ka ng file, ang operating system ang nag-organize kung saan ito ilalagay para madaling mahanap ulit. Interrupt handling. Ang interrupt ay isang signal na nagpapahinto sa isang process para magbigay daan sa mga mas mahalagang gawain. Halimbawa, kapag may error ang isang application, ang operating system ay nagpapakita ng error message. Process management. Responsable ang operating system sa paggawa, pagtakbo, at pagtanggal ng mga processes o program na tumatakbo. Tinitiyak nito na maayos ang paglipat mula sa isang process patungo sa ibang process. File management. Ang operating system ang nag-organize ng mga files sa storage. Ito ang nagde-determine kung paano i-store, pangalanan, at protektahan ang mga files para hindi ito madaling makurap o mawala. Device management. Pinapangasiwaan ng operating system ang lahat ng devices na nakakabit sa computer, katulad ng printer, keyboard, at mouse. Inaasikaso nito ang communication sa pagitan ng mga devices at mga program. I/O system management. Isa itong abstraction layer na nagtatago ng mga technical na detalye ng mga hardware mula sa mga user. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo kailangang intindihin kung paano gumana ang isang keyboard o mouse internally. Ang mahalaga, gumagana sila. Secondary storage management. Ang operating system ang namamahala sa storage system para sa long-term data, tulad ng hard drives at SSDs. Sinisigurado nitong maayos ang pag-access sa mga nakasave na files. Security. Protection ito ng mga computer laban sa mga virus, hackers, mga hacking, at hindi authorized na pag-access. Halimbawa nito ang logins at firewalls para sa more security ng iyong devices. Command interpretation. Tumatanggap at nagpapaliwanag ng commands mula sa user, tulad ng pag-type ng command sa terminal command prompt. Halimbawa, nag-type ka ng dir sa Windows command prompt at binuksan niya o ipinakita nito ang buong listahan ng files sa isang folder. Networking. Ang operating system pinapayagan niya ang computer na makipag-ugnayan pa sa ibang devices sa iba pang devices sa isang network tulad ng pag-connect ng Wi-Fi o sa mga ginagawang file sharing ng mga computer. Job accounting. Sinusubaybayan ng operating system kung gaano karaming oras at resources ang ginagamit sa bawat application. Mahalaga ito lalo na sa mga multi-user system. Communication management. Tinitiyak nito na maayos ang pagpapasa ng data sa pagitan ng user at software tools na katulad ng compilers at ng mga interpreters na mahalaga sa programming at system operations.
So now let's proceed about the types of operating system, which is we have the batch operating system, multitasking or time-sharing operating system, and the distributed operating system, the real-time operating system, the network operating system, and the lastly is the mobile operating system. So first, the batch operating system. The batch operating system is a type of operating system that processes jobs in batches. This was means that the group of similar jobs are collected together and executed sequentially. This without any direct interaction from the user, which is thus the user does not interact with the computer directly. And how this operating system works. Batch operating system works, which is how users prepare their jobs offline and submit them to the computer operator. And information that the operator groups jobs are with similar requirements into batches. And how that batches execution is operating system executes the jobs in batches sequentially that without any user's interaction. And once the job completely the output was stored in output full that the later printing of the processing. For example, for this is the payroll processing that processing calculating the processing payroll for employees, and the bank statement, which is handling of financial transactions in banks or other financial institution. This batch operating system was played a crucial role in the development of computing and saved the way for more interactive operating systems that while they are not as widely used today, they remain relevant for the specific application that require efficient processing of large volumes of data. So next, the time or multitasking sharing operating system, which is the TSOS. And allows a multiple users to share a single computer that the system is simultaneously. It's a logical extension or multi-program that the CPU's times is divided into small intervals that called time slice or quantum, which the user or each user gets a time slice to execute their programs that creating the illusions of parallel execution. So how this time sharing works is how CPU uses scheduling algorithm that like round robin or priority base. This was decided which process gets the CPU next. And in multiple programs naman, this resides in memory that allowing the CPU to switch between them quickly. And the switching context that saves and restores the execution context of each process during switching, ensuring smooth transitions. This time sharing operating system example is Unix and Linux that and Windows 2000 server and Windows NT server and etc. And this system have a revolutionized that computing by enabling efficient resource sharing and providing a more integrative user experience that they are foundation of modern multi-user systems. This allowing using to allowing us to work on a multiple tasks that simultaneously and experiences a responsive computing environment. So the next one is distributed system or the distributed operating system. That this is a collect of independent computers or devices that work together as a single cohesive unit to achieve a common goal. And these computers are physically separated but linked by a network, it allowing them to share resources, communicate, and perform tasks to tandem. The example for this distributed system is social media platforms, which is we have the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the e-commerce website that we have Amazon, eBay, and online banking system the Chase Bank of America, and cloud service and currencies that we have the AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, and Bitcoin and Ethereum. Distributed system is a very essential for our modern applications that require high performance, scalability, and reliability that are becoming increasingly prevalent as the technology continues to evolve and data becomes distributed. And the next is real-time operating system or the RTOS, which is this is a real-time operating system that specialized operating system designed from applications that require strict time or constraints that unlike general purpose operating system or the GPOS like Windows or Mac OS or that are Mac OS that RTOS prioritize that predictability and responsiveness over the factors. They are commonly used in embedded system that's industrial control and the other applications where delays can have serious consequences. The types of RTOS, which is the hard real time, soft real time, and the firm real time. In hard real time system, we have the guarantee that tasks will complete within their deadlines. Even under extremely conditions, failure to meet deadlines can lead to be failure. Can lead to be a system failure. And the so real-time system naman is a strives to meet deadlines but allows the occasionally delays. Missing deadlines might result in degraded performance but not system failure. In firm real-time naman po, this is a system that fall between hard and soft real-time that with a focus on meeting deadlines but with tolerance for occasionally missed deadlines. An example for this is the industrial automations, which is we have the robotics, process control, and manufacturing system. And the medical devices naman is the pacemakers, ventilators, and imaging equipment. And in automotive system, we have the anti-lock brakes, airbag control, and engine management. In aerospace naman po is flight control system and navigation and satellite communication and others pa po. So this was an essential for application where time is critical. They provide the predictability and responsiveness of needed to ensure system stability, reliability, and demanding environments. So next, network operating system. Network operating system is a software that is managed to a computer network, allowing multiple devices to communicate and share resources. It acts as the central control point of the network that providing services and features that enable seamless collaboration and resource sharing. We have we have a function of network operating system which is the user's account management that create and manage user accounts controlling access to network resources. And resource sharing naman po, it's enable sharing of files, printers, and other peripherals that across the network. And network security naman po, it is provide the security and authentication of authorization and access control to protect sensitive data or sensitive data. And the network management that monitors network performance, identifies issues, and provides tools for troubleshooting. And in communication services naman, it facilitates communication between devices on the network using protocols like TCP or IP. And for examples of network operating system is the Microsoft Windows Server or the popular client server that NOS known for its robust features and enterprise level capabilities. And Unix or Linux is open source and OS widely used for servers that workstations embedded system. And Cisco iOS naman is a proprietary that network operating system used in Cisco routers and switches providing advanced networking and functionality. And the Jupyter Honus naman is a free BSD base and the network operating system that use the Juniper networking devices known for its reliability and performance. This operating system or the network operating system that have played a crucial role in the evolution of computer networks that enabling efficient resource sharing and collaboration that technology devices or network operating systems continue to evolve, adapting to new trends and providing the foundation of modern interconnectedness of a system. And next, the last one is the mobile operating system, which the mobile operating system is a software that controls the functions of smartphone, tablets, or other mobile devices. It acts as a intermediary between the device's hardware and the application you use managing tasks like running apps, managing resources, providing a user interface, and connecting to networks, which is the mobile OS and allows you to download and use apps of communication, entertainment, productivity, and more. And managing resources that allocate memory, process, power, and network access efficiently. And this is a providing of user interface that offer a touch-friendly interface interacting with the device. And in network naman is enable communication over cellular, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. So, for example of mobile operating system, nasabi ko na po kanina yung phones and like Android, iOS, and Harmony OS. It's developed, and Harmony OS naman is developed by Huawei. And mobile operating systems are the modern or essential modern mobile devices that enabling us to stay connected, entertained, and productive and go as technology advances. We can expect mobile OS are the continue evolving and operating new features and capabilities that enhancing our mobile experiences. So next, let's proceed about the examples of operating system. First, the Unix operating system. This system was first created in Bell Labs way back in the 1960s, and it became popular in the 1970s for a high-level computing, but not on the consumer level. But since a lot of internet services were originally hosted by Unix machines, this platform gained tremendous popularity in the 1990s. It still leads the industry on the most common operating system for web servers. And the Macintosh OS or the Mac OS, which developed by Apple Computer in January 24, 1984. It was a pre-installed Macintosh 128K model computer that Mac OS is credited for the widely used features of every OS to date. Or we have this Macintosh or Mac OS are having a GUI or graphical user interface that the use of icons, buttons, a pointing cursor, and the point and click command of execute of instructions that rather than the usual command line driven interface. And next, the MS-DOS or the Microsoft Disk Operating System. It is a commercialized by Microsoft. It was the most dominant operating system for the PC compatible platform during the 1980s. And it was a command line driven interface program where the user interacts with the computer through command prompts to execute different programs. And the Microsoft Windows operating system. The Microsoft operating system, it was the first introduced in operating environment named Windows in November in 1985. This was an add-on to MS-DOS that in response to the growing interest in graphical user interface or GUI. And lastly, the Linux operating system. Linux is an open operating system for personal computers, servers, and many other hardware platforms that is based on the Unix operating system. Linux was originally created by Linus Torvalds, or as a free Linus Torvalds is a free alternative operating system to more expensive Unix system. It's a Linux has grown since its creation due it part to its open source roots. It's open source software, it's freely licensed, and users can copy and even change the code. And there are several operating systems that use the Linux kernel. This including the Ubuntu, Debian, Red Hat, Fedora, or Chrome OS, and Android for smartphones. And by utilities of programs, these are small, powerful programs with a limited capability that are usually operated by the users to maintain smooth running of the computer system. It, the various example for this file management is diagnosing problems and finding out information about the computer and etc. A notable examples for utility programs is including the copy, paste, delete, and file searching, disk fragmenter, and disk cleanup. And in device drivers naman, it was specialized programs that allowing communication between the device and the computer. It loaded into memory each time a computer started. When a new device is added, new device drivers must be installed. So, we have the types of application software naman. The first one is proprietary application software or customized software that which designed for a particular customer that in this case was we need to hire a computer programmer or a software creator that develops software for these customers. And in package software naman, we have this kind of off-the-shelf application software that program developed for the sale of general public. And it can be purchased for programs from and leased or rented from the vendor and develops programs and sell them to many organizations. From the word package, we are commonly use this term for the computer program or a group of programs that has been developed by the vendor and available for the purchase of pre-packaging form. So now let's proceed in examples of application software, which we have the first one is word processing software, which the word processing software is a computer application designed for creating, editing, formatting, and printing text-based documents. It goes beyond the simply type for simple typing, offering features to enhance readability and visual appeal and collaboration. It involved from basic text editors to sophisticated tools with features like spell and grammar checking, image insertion, advanced formatting options, and real-time collaboration. And a popular word processing software application is the Microsoft Word, that widely used features-rich application known its extensive capabilities and compatibility, and Google Docs that are free in cloud-based application offering real-time collaboration and accessibility from any device with the internet connection, and the LibreOffice Office Writer, that a free and open source alternative for Microsoft Word that providing many similar features. And for iOS naman is for Apple Pages that integrated word processor seamlessly integrated into the Apple ecosystem. So the next one is desktop publishing software, which this desktop publishing or DTP, that software is specialized software designed for creating a visual, appealing and professional formatted documents that combining text and graphics for print or digital media. It's unlike the word processing software which focusing in primarily on text. The DTP or the desktop publishing software is prioritizes the layout, design, and the integration of images and other multimedia elements that allows for the creation of complex publications such as magazines, brochures, books, and posters, and more. For the popular DTP or desktop operating system is the Adobe InDesign, that industry standard renowned for its powerful features that extensive capabilities and broad industry adoption. It is a subscription of based services. An affinity publisher that a strong InDesign alternative offering a powerful feature that's set with a one-time purchase option instead of subscription. It's available for Windows, Mac OS, and iPad. And the Microsoft Publisher na rin also, it was a more accessible option integrated into the Microsoft ecosystem, but with a more limited feature set compared to the InDesign or Infinity Publisher. So the next one is the spreadsheet software, which is the which the software is a type of application that designed for organizing, analyzing, and manipulating data in a tabular formula. It's a fundamental tool used in various fields that from personal finance to business analysis. And the popular spreadsheet for application software application is the Microsoft Excel, that industry standard known for extensive feature set that power formulas and compatibility. And also the Google set that are free in cloud-based alternative of offering real-time collaboration, that accessibility from the device and integration with other Google services. And the Apple Numbers, which is that in Apple integrated spreadsheet application designed to for ease of use and integration with the other Apple products. And the next one of is database software, that which the database software is a crucial component of any modern computer system. It's responsible for storing, organizing, and managing vast amounts of data. It acts as a digital librarian, ensuring that information is readily accessible, secure, and easily manipulated. And presentation software, that it become an indispensable tool for communicating ideas. It's sharing information and engaging audiences across various settings, from casual classroom presentations to high-stakes businesses pitches. The right presentation software can significantly impact the effectiveness of your message or the effectiveness of your message. This overview of explores and key features of popular application and selection of consideration and presentation software. And there are the slide creation of the and editing, and the templates of themes and animation and transitions, collaboration tools and data visualization, presenter tools and export and sharing options. Yung mga nakapapaloob sa mga features and capabilities ng presentation software. And next, the Internet browser, which is the software application that allow users to access and view websites on the World Wide Web that act as an intermediary between a user and the internet and interpreting the code of web page and displaying them in the user-friendly format that choice of browser can significantly impact the user experiencing and affecting speed and security, privacy, and overall functional of internet browser. And next is the email programs, which is also known as the email clients that are software application that allow users to send, receive, and manage emails. They provide a user-friendly interface that for composing, reading, and organizing the sending electronic messages. There are the email programs and our features of the email programs are the management, message composition and address books, and calendar integration, security features. And the next is the pixel-based graphic programs, which is also known for the raster graphics programs. These programs work with images made up of individual pixels that like a grid of tiny squares. Each pixel it has its own color, and changing a pixel directly affect the image. For example, for this is Photoshop, GIMP, and and Paint.net and Pixelmator Pro Max naman yun. And the vector-based graphic programs naman is work with mathematical equations that defines shapes, lines, and curves. Those programs create images that are resolution independent, and meaning they can be scaled up or down without losing quality. For example, for this is Illustrator, Inkscape, and Infinite Designers and Sketch. And the last one is the communication software that has revolutionized how business and individuals connect and collaborate. This is explores various types of communication software, and there are key features of application that selections considerations and there are the types of communication, which is the instant messaging that the platforms like Slack, Microsoft Teams, and Troop Messenger facilitate quick, and the video conferencing like tools such as the Zoom, Google Meet, and GoToMeeting. Next one naman po is capabilities of software. The first one is object linking and embedding, or OLE. It allows information to be shared between applications, or for example is the spreadsheet created in Excel can be imported into Word. And the next is portability of data. The portability of data is the people who have different types of computers with different operating systems and applications often need to transfer or people that are often need to transfer files and programs among their computers that need a file transfer protocol that they are allows files to be transferred over the internet among different types of computer. And the last is the upgradability, that the software upgrades can provide new and useful features, but they can also cause problems, such as if documents are that you need to transfer in a version of Word 9 words from the Word 6 file can be read in the Words 97 file, and if the word 6 will need to read the word 97, which is cannot be because it was not an upgraded, which is the word 6 for file, which is the word 6 software is not upgraded software that frequently required more memory, more disk space, and faster processor. So he need to hardware. So the word 6 hardware needs to be upgraded. And so let's move on in humanware naman po. Humanware is describe the customer experience of a software and hardware that particularly has to do with the facilities of a computer system being developed based on interests and needs of a user. It also called for as a livingware that refers to the users of the computer system, either direct or indirect users. So we have the peopleware or the different types of a humanware, which we have the computer engineering, that they are the engaged in software design and application to address the needs of a particular industry or sector. They are the primarily responsible for the update in the software as well as the providing additional customization of current software to ensure the systems functionally. And the software engineerings naman, they are the primarily responsible for the design and develop of the software of the computer as well as its or their in testing and evaluation. And the information technologies specialist naman po, they task to plan and coordinate installations, operations, and troubleshooting and maintenance of the computer software, the hardware system. And the website designer naman, they are engaged in the construction of the navigation scheme of a website. And the compute technicians, they are charged with the repair and maintenance of a computer and its servers. And they are also built for configure new hardware as well as installing and bringing an update in the software. They are also tasked with the creation and maintenance of a computer networks. And the computer operator naman, they are responsible for monitoring and controlling computer system, especially mainframe computer system in a company of organization. And system analysts naman, they are working for solving problems related in computer technology that many analysts set up a new computer system, both the hardware and software that add new software application to increase computer productivity. And the project manager naman, they are the person who has the overall responsibility for a successful initiation, planning, design, execution, and monitoring, controlling, and closure of a project. Programmer naman po, they are the specialists in one or area of computer programming, or to a generalist who writes code for many kinds of software. Database administrator naman po, they are the responsible for the performance monitoring, security, integrity, troubleshooting, as well as the backup and data recovery of a database. They use specialized software for store and organize data. And the server administration, the last one, has the overall of a server. This is usually in the context of business organization where server administration oversees the performance and condition of multiple servers in the business. Or it can be in the context of single person running gamer server.